Hey everyone, welcome to our first team call of 2016. We obviously finished out 2015 as an elite team, so this is our first elite team call, and I'm super excited and I'm so thankful for all of you and for how this team grows. I literally am grateful every morning when I wake up for you guys. So thank you for jumping on. Today is a big one because I'm going to have, our diamond leaders, me included, I'll go last, talk about really what they've learned over the last year, both awesome things. I'm going to try to do tell us one awesome thing and then one thing that has been something that is that you really need to work on, or that was a big lesson that was not fun to go through. Okay? Okay, so let's start with some recognition because the second weekend you guys are already blowing it up. I'll start with recruiting. Leading the recruiting list for the downline is Rachel Baldwin with 6 new coaches. And then next is Monica McCrossin with 3, and then a 3-way tie for third with 2 coaches each with Kelly Webster, Jenna Evie, and Jen Pierce. So nice job, guys. Our top 3 volume this week are Kim Sinke with 1425, Sarah Brya with just over 1,000, and Kathy Benson with just under 1,000. So way to go. And then Success Club 10, Rachel and Kim Sinke have already hit it. Congratulations, girls. And then these next, 8 people have already hit Success Club 5. So at Success Club 5, we have Jill Barnum. And then at 6, we have Amanda Fouché, Jody Bulis, Christy Vogt-Tavine, and Kelly Webster. And then Jenna Evie with 7, Lindsay Petit with 8, and Jen Pierce with 9. And if I'm not saying your names right, just shoot me a message so I can make sure to say them right, because if I hear your name once, I'm sure I'm going to hear it again. Alrighty. So we're going to get started. Jen, you're up first, and just unmute yourself, and then we can have a Q&A at the end if we don't run out of time. Okay, let's try to keep this to about an hour. All right, here we go. This is a big one.
Okay, hey guys. Okay, so I wanted to first start off with how excited I am that I am a diamond and I'm able to speak to you guys. I've always looked at myself as a leader, but I never had the rank to kind of go with it. And so hitting diamond at the end of last year was the biggest thing for me for my business. So I'm going to go into what was so hard for me. So I made myself emerald. Well, I became emerald after like 3 months, which I think is, fairly reasonable for a new coach. And then it took me 15 months to go from emerald to diamond. And that is a long time. And I always felt, maybe I'm slow, maybe I'm just not getting this, I'm working full time, like all these things. And what really came to me at the end of last year was the reason I wasn't building my team, or why I wasn't a diamond, is because I didn't believe myself that I could do it. The personal development, the working on myself, the confidence building, that's why it took so long, because really for like the first 14 months, I was like, oh yeah, I want to be diamond. I want this to be like my thing. And I was doing all the right things, but deep down inside, I didn't believe that I could do it. I didn't believe that I could share the business with people. So I was really struggling with it. I didn't know how to do it. It's just like your workout program or your Shakeology. If you don't do it all the time and believe in it, you can't share it. So a bunch of things just kind of worked on it. It all finally clicked, and I was like, I can do this. I am a leader. I am a strong leader. I can build a team. I can train people, and I can totally rock this business just like I do my workouts and everything else. So once that clicked in my brain, I was like, well, now I just need to be diamond. So my husband was already emerald, so I made my mom diamond my mom emerald in like 2 weeks, so I could rank advance. It was just like that. And so if you guys are sitting, I guess my message is, if you're sitting and it's taking forever, you really need to do some soul searching and like, why is it taking so long? And I just didn't believe in myself. That was really it. And once I believed that I could achieve and succeed in this business, I mean, it's still challenging, but it's easier, and it's so much easier for me to share the business and how it's helped my confidence and helped me become the real me on the outward side, so that's what I share with people now. So that's it. That's my little spiel.
Ooh, okay, that's obviously huge because your belief is what leads it. Is there something that was really a positive for you, that you felt like just you flew with it, that came easy for you with the business on your way to Diamond or since you've been a Diamond?
So I am really like, another part of my thing was like mid last year. So I got married and I had a honeymoon and I was just so like stressed and like, blah. So I really didn't even work my business for like 2 months. And I came back refreshed, but also when I came back, the consistency that I had put in the first half of the year was still there. I started really posting in my workouts and people were just, yeah, I'm ready. Let's do this. And so I really think, even though I did take some time off mentally for myself, which I needed, just that whole consistency has been great. I think I hit SC10 9 out of the 12 months or something like that last year, which was huge for me because I remember as a starting coach, it was like such a struggle to get one. And now, hitting SC10 like midway through the month, it's not even a big deal. Like it just happens. And so for me, that's just such a huge thing, and it all comes from the consistency.
So the consistency, that's awesome. What else was I going to add? I don't know. I think, if there's any other thing, before what the rest of us Diamonds go, like tell us how long you've been a Diamond, I guess, when you expect to be a 2-star. How about that? We'll add a goal into it. And then anything else that's part of like, I guess, something that you could be recognized for, whether you're Success Club All-Star or Legend or anything like that too. Okay. So are you a Success Club 5 All-Star, Jen?
I am not. So my off months were like May and June. Okay. So mid next year. So by Summit, my goal at Summit is to be a Success Club 5 All-Star and 2-star by Summit.
Awesome. Okay.
And I've been a Diamond.
Love those goals. That's awesome. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. And they're honest and good takeaways. So, okay. Amy, you're up, girl.
All right. Hi, guys. So thank you for having me here. So I have been a coach almost a year now. February will be a year. And I've been a Diamond since, May. I think I hit Diamond. I started coaching in February. I was Diamond in May. And I held that for a while. And then I dropped rank in, September, maybe? I think it was August or September. And I didn't get back to Diamond until, the very last week of December. So I am back. I can share that struggle if anybody's there with dropping rank. And I am really pushing to be 2-star by end of first quarter. So what's that, the end of March, right? Yeah. What was your other question? Oh, Success Club All-Star. I wrote it down. I am none of those things yet, but I actually think this is technically my 12th month, and I'm hoping to be, I'm hoping I will be a Success Club 5 All-Star. So, yeah, that's that. And then, so this year's just been crazy for me. So I had no idea what I was getting into. And it's like the best thing that's ever happened to me. And I think the biggest thing was, for me, the personal development, because I had a lot of things going on in my life in general. And it's crazy, but I really feel like the personal development and this community in whole changed everything for me. I made some huge decisions in my personal life, my career, that have brought me to a place where I've never been happier before, which is really wild. And it's crazy to look back and people, I feel look at me, really, Amy Britt, that's what did it, but it did. And so that was what made me really happy and excited this year. I think talking to people comes really naturally to me. So it's been a huge part of my, my consistency and being able to still meet my goals when things look hairy. And part of that too, I remember with Wendy, we were like, okay, like, when am I going to be Emerald? And I actually encourage everybody to do this. I wrote it down. I think I still have the pictures on my phone. Like, I had an Emerald date, I wrote it down and I hit it. Then I had a Diamond date and I wrote it down and I hit it a week after. So I think I need to do that again. I haven't done that. And I did it for getting my rank back. It was the end of December and I said, I will be back. So yeah, just doing that. And then what was the last thing, the other question?
So
Sorry.
oh no, it's okay. I mean, basically, what were your lessons learned? What was something that was a really positive lesson to learn that you can't wait to share with everyone? And then something that was a really hard lesson that was not fun to go through.
Well, dropping rank was not fun. That was not fun. And I kind of had to reset. No, but I mean, I had to recenter. What am I doing? Am I being consistent? What is my message? What am I doing? And I really had to dive into consistency and my confidence. And like, why am I scared to share this opportunity with people? And I still struggle with that, but I'm truly working on that, because you know what? Look what it did for me in my life. So if I have the opportunity to share that with you, like, hey, great, I'm going to do that. And so that's been a really hard thing for me to learn. I think it was actually Mindy Wonder who said she was a Facebook ghost prior to Beachbody, and that was me. So there have been some struggles and some things I've really had to learn, and I'm still working on that, but that is definitely something I would share with people. Like, you're here. Why are you here? And why are you scared to share that with everybody?
Because what's the worst thing that could happen, right? They could say no.
Big deal. Big deal.
They could think you're a huge weirdo. And then you say, oh, I'm so sorry. I love you. Let's still be friends. I won't bring it up until you bring it up, And just to be specific, what are some big things that you keep talking about that have happened to you in the last year, so that people can understand a little bit more if they don't know your story?
Definitely. So I've been in human resources my entire life. So I literally started working full-time right out of high school, put myself through college, working full-time, going to school full-time. And I still work there part-time, but I got to a point where I'm like, I have little kids who are wanting all my time. My husband's a firefighter. So our lives are crazy and we're just stressed all the time. And I had moments where I honestly was like, I'm going to have a breakdown. And I mean, I had some really hard times and with that, and I was stressed at work and kind of miserable with some situations there. And finally I just got the courage and just said, like, I'm going to go and I'm going to make this change, because if I don't, I'll always wonder. And I decided I just quit my job. I said, I'm done. I mean, I talked over with my husband. We had a lot of talk about it, but we just said, let's do it. We're going to be okay. Like, you put faith in it, it's going to be all right. And I'm still there part-time, but it wasn't as hard as it sounds. And people all looked at me crazy. Like, what are you doing? Are you nuts? And I think that has encouraged me to work harder with Beachbody too. And yeah, that's the big thing. It just changed it, like shifted something in my universe to make everything fall into place.
So you basically, you quit your job, and then they said, we want you back. And you said, okay, I'll be back part-time. So
Right.
It's kind of like, long story short. And the other thing about Amy is she has gone to every event. Like, she went to Platinum Edge, she went to Summit, she goes to Super Saturdays. And I think that's a big thing with you going all in too. You're like, how can I learn from the best people? And that's how you become the best, right? Is by you're surrounding yourself with that. And I think just it changes a lot when you're surrounding yourself with people who are on a fast track, or who are going to make this more than just a hobby. And that's made some big changes for you. So
yeah,
that's exciting. Okay. Well, anything else you want to add?
Well, I took enough time, but thanks.
Okay. Erin, you're up. Thanks, Amy.
Yeah.
Well,
first thing you said, am I not?
I can't hear you very well. Everyone else? That's okay.
No, can you hear me at all?
I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I was giggling, Amy, because a couple of the things that you said, I can totally relate. So I think you said you didn't know what you were getting into. I'm laughing because I mean, it is a simple business, but it kind of like, I don't think I knew what I was getting into. Like, it can be so simple, but I think with 3 kids and working full time and being pulled in so many different directions that it is really hard. And then the other thing you said was, oh, I don't know. See, I already lost it.
So back up and tell your story. How long have you been a coach?
All right.
Where you are currently, et cetera, et cetera.
I started coaching last November and hit Diamond in July, and then hit 2-star probably Thanksgiving time. And I think I made so many mistakes. I honestly don't even know how I ended the year like I did. So I have made mistake after mistake. So May, Jen, I had Success Club 0.0, and that was really hard for me, but that is a really tricky teaching month too. But that's a mistake that I won't let happen again either. Let's see, I totally messed up my coach placement. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So I totally started putting all my coaches on the inside. I don't even know how. And Wendy had to come to help me figure that out.
But we figured it out. We're good. It had actually happened to another coach of mine. So you're not the only one, and she's on this call too. I don't know how it happens, but it happens. So that your lesson there would be, before you do placement, every time before your diamond, talk to your upline coach, please.
Yeah. And another lesson is, it's really easy to kind of get swept up in things, and you're like, especially for busy working people, but you do need to kind of put the effort into knowing what you need to know when that time comes, so that you're ready for that. And so like coach placement would be one of those.
It happens. And that's the thing. It happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was your not fun thing to go through, certain mistakes, I guess, that I don't know whether you should have known or not. You don't know if if you think you should have known them. You obviously won't make that mistake again with your coaches, right? What's something that's been really great for you? What do you think has propelled you to a 2-star in a year? Like, that's a really huge accomplishment.
I think like Amy, I am a natural, I just have an easy way of talking with people. So I think that has, like, anything that I'm feeling inside, I genuinely express to other people. It just comes naturally to me. It's not uncomfortable. So if there's something I'm doing that I really love, and this is something that I really love, I'm talking about it all the time. Like, I left my brand new house cleaner today a Shakeology sample and told her it would make her feel better when she was done cleaning the house. So
that's great. So be proof the products work, obviously. So you feel like this is through your posts, or are you messaging like a certain amount of people every day and having a conversation?
I message people, I post. I'm really working on getting a lot more consistent on that. And I'm just talking to people. I have, a job where I see a ton of people every day. Either we have 250 kids, so that's, 500 parents that are in and out. Our school has a lot of pickup kiddos, so I'm just chatting with people, and they might have seen one thing. I had somebody last year just order under me, and I didn't even know her except for that she was a mom in the building. I had never even talked to her, but she's like, "Oh, I've been following you."
Right. People are always watching, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So don't be scared to talk about it in person, obviously, and then obviously through your posts, and then through those invites. And then the other thing I wanted to ask you was, obviously getting 2 coaches that went to Diamond as quickly as they did on your team. How do you feel you recruited people who were quick to go to Diamond like that?
Well, I think that for me, like they both are teachers. And so they both are similar to me. And I like for Rachel, I saw the potential. I said to her, I didn't have this opportunity before I had kids. I didn't even know this was a thing. So I said to her, you need to get there before you have kids because it's really hard when you do. And so she's just been awesome from the get-go. And then Sarah's not on this call, but she's been a good friend for a long time. And I already knew her work ethic as a teacher. So she was just a really easy one. She had some pretty specific goals. So I had to give her timelines for this is where you need to be if this is your goal. I don't want to share that because
right, no, and you don't need to get into that. But your tens, basically, that's what Christine Dwyer calls them. Like the ones that you see being super successful in this business, you basically were like, I'm going to reach out to you. I'm going to tell you why you'd be great at this. And then we're setting goals on exactly why your why is strong.
Yes, and
it's simple.
Yeah, even as I don't tend to recruit a ton of coaches, but I really spend time thinking about the people that I do want working and why, and giving them their why almost. Like telling them like, hey, you've got 3 babies at home. You should be home with them. That's my ultimate goal. It's kind of scary because I also carry our insurance. So
that's why we've talked about this, like if you have a goal with that, you have to figure that out. Like how much is insurance? How much do you have to make? How much volume do you need? Like we're going through all of that with you so that you can see how you can be home with your babies too. So yeah. I love that. Awesome. Thank you, Erin. Really great points today. Okay. So Sarah Boldman, woot, woot, my first star diamond on my team. My first diamond. Yeah, my first diamond and my first star diamond. So here you go, girl.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, cute headphones.
Bad boys off. Oh, everyone's on the couch sleeping now, so I moved into another room. But yeah, it's funny thing is I didn't start. I started coaching only a few months after you did, Wendy. So, I started in April of 2014. So I'm rounding up to 2 years pretty soon. So it's gone by really fast, but it's also been very, there's a lot that's happened. I've been a diamond. I don't even know.
I don't even know my diamond date either.
Fall of 2014. And then I've been 2-star. Erin got me to 2-star in July. If Erin knew her diamond date, that was July of this year. So I'm 2-star since then. And Kathy was my first diamond. And Kathy, I can't remember when you hit diamond. She's been diamond for a while too. So, so I have 2 strong diamonds that I have complete faith in. And, I think one of the things that, I was more of an aha, kind of slow aha for me is that, I've been really consistent with my business as far as like, even if I have limited time, a half hour, like I'll get my invites in for sure. I've always been really good about messaging people. So that's, and I do my vital behaviors, I'm still working on improving my posts and things like that. But, that's always been good for me. But leadership for me was not my strong point. I mean, I remember at one point, Kathy, who was my coach, goes, Sarah, you might want to create a team page. I'm like, oh, okay. I don't know if you remember that, Kathy. I was like, oh, all right, well, I'll do that. And even that, I didn't, invest a ton of time into it. I mean, I'd add coaches and things like that. So I'm trying to take more ownership and not trying to rely on others as much, which, I've used, I'm busy, like Erin was talking about before, we're working full time with 3 kids and things like that. But there is ways to do it. You just have to be real creative with your time and be really good at time management. And it's possible to be a good leader and run your business with limited time, but you have to be really focused. So I would say that was probably my biggest mistake, is that I, didn't take as much ownership with leadership type of stuff. Just recently been doing Zoom calls, and we were doing, like, I did a few late in the year, or I would say like in the fall, but I wasn't really comfortable, but I think you just have to kind of do it. And then I've run them with, Rachel and Aaron and Kathy at different times, and then some on my own. And now I'm feeling much more comfortable. And I think it's just a matter of time and just putting yourself out there. And now I feel really comfortable with it. And so, so I think that's one of the things that I've really learned. I don't think I had a hard lesson because I've been on my Beachbody career has been a slow and steady climb. I don't feel like I've had any real bumps. I've been Success Club 5 since the start. I'll have 10s in there too, but I haven't gotten below Success Club 5 ever. So I had a close call last month. It was like the last day of the month and got in 3 orders last minute. So I feel like I've been really consistent. I've had some huge months, but I don't have huge months. I'm just kind of really steady. So I would like to have huge months, and I think that will come as, my goal is to, decrease hours at work. That's my big goal to go part-time next year. That's like in the back. That's like on the forefront of my mind all the time. And I think that I'll be able to grow my business significantly with more time on my hands. So I'm trying to think of anything else.
Just so not if everyone doesn't know your story, what would you say that Beachbody has brought to your life as far as, financially is a big one, or just other things that you weren't doing 2 years ago that you are doing now, thanks to Beachbody?
Definitely confidence has increased significantly. Not just like body and body image and things like that. I mean, that has improved a lot. Like totally that has improved, but I'm just talking more of just confidence as a person and feeling comfortable. Like I can, I've just always been the person that follows the rules. I do what I'm supposed to do. I go to a job, I do my job, I do it right. But I've never taken, like I said, that leadership position, and that's helped build my confidence a lot. So that's taught me a lot. I think I've been really fortunate, like Kathy she signed up as a coach quickly after I did. And, I don't give myself a whole lot of credit for that. I just kind of like fell upon it, and I knew she was into fitness and she just kind of ran with it. So I was really lucky with that. And like with Erin, she was a customer, and then she had some personal things going on, and she came out to me and asked me. So it wasn't like, I just feel like I was really fortunate in that. And so I'm trying to take more ownership with really recruiting well and starting my coaches off on a good note. That's the other piece I was going to talk about was I don't feel like I was strong at getting my coaches started off the right foot. And that's what I'm really working on right now, because I think that if you can get your coaches going strong the first few weeks, then they can fly on their own more independently. So I don't know. But anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. So my confidence has improved. That's what we were talking about. And I would say financially, the finances have, it's been a humongous addition for us. We made a big move this year, which wouldn't have happened without this additional income. I'm really conservative with money. So, we had to have plenty to be able to make this move comfortably. And we did because of Beachbody. I saved a lot of money over last year. And we used it all for the down payment of this house, but it allowed us to be able to make that. So it's been a huge life changer.
Your goal is to save $50,000 this year. That's huge. You were able to buy a minivan. You know what I mean? Like she's now having her 4th baby. You were able to move without Greg having a job right away. Like I think that's huge. You were a sole income earner of a family of 5 for however long, because her husband's a teacher too. And it's not always easy to find teaching jobs when you're moving to another state. And for me, like, that's huge, to have like this other thing that you literally do an hour a day. Like you cram in your time. It is hardcore when you do it. And you make it, you make it happen just because I don't think you're scared. That's one thing I don't hear from you very often is that fear to be like, I'm going to invite, I'm going to post, I'm going to do my workout. Like you said, you follow the rules but look at how it's paid off for you. And that's
rule follower.
Well, that's not a bad thing, but you heard what the 3 vitals are and you're like, okay, that's easy. I can do those every day, period. And, it goes to show there are a lot bright, shiny lights that happen in this business. It is easy to get distracted. But if you do those 3 things, no matter what, every day, even in just an hour, you can do some really amazing
Mhm.
things in your life. And Sarah's definitely one that shows that. It's something I'm super proud of with her. Yeah. So what's your goal? What's your 5-star goal?
Well, 5-star goal. I want to be 5-star by end of second quarter, which is what, the end of June.
Yeah. So by Summit.
Yeah.
Awesome.
5-star by then. So, and yeah, I
When's
think I'll hit
baby
it.
due? When's baby number 4?
June 22nd, maybe.
Oh yeah, birthday.
Isn't it the end of second quarter too?
Yeah, I think like it's basically all about the same time. So maybe, maybe it'll be this trifecta, of hitting
Maybe.
5-star for
Mhm.
Summit with new baby. Great.
And I have big financial goals too, like how much I make. So I'm like checking my volume now. I'm taking more ownership with that, which I never have. I've always been like, okay, whatever.
I'll get paid on Thursdays. Period.
Yeah, like if I do my vitals, I'll get paid. That's
Right.
kind of what I've always done. But I'm trying to pay attention a little bit more.
That's exciting. And yeah, I know I was going to talk about this at the end, but I'm getting our schedule together for our mastermind calls. And then if you are a star diamond or top volume earner on the team, we're going to be doing one-on-one calls also. So, or a diamond coach, some diamond coaches also. Okay. So I'm excited to go through those just weekly to be able to touch on specific things like that, like how we can grow your volume, specific coaches that, getting started right, things like that. It's exciting. Our team's really doing great. It's so fun. So thanks, Sarah. Rachel, you're up, girl.
Okay. Thanks. Okay, I'm Rachel, and I have been a coach for almost a year. I'm coming up on a year. I signed up in February when Extreme came out, and then I started coaching like at the end of February. I've been a diamond since August, and I'm a full-time teacher, and I am going to be 2-star by qualifying by the end of February for sure, 2-star in March. And okay, so let's see. My like Sarah said, I haven't been really doing this a super long time. I've had like little bumps along the way, but I'm super consistent like in my everyday life. So I put that into my business as well. I'm just super consistent. And the one thing that I really wish I would have done is when I got coaches like interested in working the business just a little bit, I wish I had more confidence in myself to get them started. I just relied on other groups and other people, and just I kind of hoped that they would just be like me and just like figure it out. But that's not everybody, so that's not fair. And I had to learn how to, I'm a natural leader, so when I decide I'm going to do something, and I just do it. So like I decided I'm going to be 5-star by Summit, and I'm just going to do it. And so when I said I'm going to set up a team page, I'm going to have trainings, and I'm going to know how to do getting started right calls, that I don't love how I'm doing them, but I'm doing them, and coaches are getting started and they're getting excited and they're starting to be consistent. They get to see me be consistent. So that's helped since I started doing that. But I feel bad because I lost people that, and someone fell off like completely from, workouts and Shakeology altogether, and that like breaks my heart. So I wish I would have been more confident in my leadership skills to get them going when they wanted to. So that's what I wish I would have done. And I know I'm going to have some like big setbacks, and I'm ready for them, but
maybe not, maybe not.
It just comes with life, but
and there will be people always, even if this happens to me more, it's happened to me a few times, where you see crazy potential in someone, and then you're like, then they just don't see it, or they fall off, or whatever it is, and you're like, it's my fault, I didn't do something right. And maybe there's a little bit of that in there, but also at the end of the day, you have to remember when like I started or some other coaches started, we didn't have anyone helping us with much at all. You know what I mean?
And I can't make them.
Coach
that
Baker?
was a yeah,
You
that was
know?
a really hard
So-
lesson for me too, is like realizing that I can't make that any of my coaches, I can't make them want to be diamond. I can't make them want to be emerald. I can give them all the tools that they need and the tools that I saw that inspired me to, rank advance, but I can't make them want it. And that was really, really hard for me to grasp and to be okay with. It's still kind of hard, but
No, I mean, maybe it sounds like we have some similarities, but like, I am never going to be okay with that. Like, it weighs really heavy on me.
yeah,
When I see
Yeah.
potential in someone and I feel like maybe I gave them enough, enough of the right things to get started. Maybe I didn't, but I feel like you have to sometimes change some of your trainings for
Yeah.
specific people. And that's hard when you're really trying to work with the people who do get it, who are running. So I get it. And it's okay if you're never going to be okay with it. For me,
Yeah,
that's the hardest
okay.
part about this business is really loving on the people that you see that
Mhm.
are awesome and then not having anything happen. Like that will
Yeah.
never be easy for me. So I get that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was your struggle, and then you think like the thing that you really helped you the most is just your consistency and your drive to want to do it.
Yeah, and honestly, what was like a game changer for me is, I don't remember, Wendy, you posted it, but I don't remember in what group. There's only 75 groups. So,
On a light day.
it was in a group that I was in, and it was, I remember, it was when we were doing some cup, and you posted a video that Melanie Mitchell did on onboarding and how she onboards. And she says that she sends this welcome email, and just, even if they're a discount coach, whatever, and she just explains the different routes of coaching and just kind of leaves it to them. She doesn't bug them. She doesn't even follow up with them. Like, it's up to them. And that has, that's gotten me all of my working coaches. I have 3, plus right now. I just got a ton of interest this month, but I have 3 that I like stumbled across, and they're like hitting Success Club 10 consistently, and it's a non-negotiable for them now. And I just did that from that email.
Mm-hmm.
So and I get other people that they want to do it, and they're in my groups and they're paying attention, and they're slow and steady, and that's great. And so that's a really simple thing that I do that was a really big game changer for onboarding for me. And now I don't have to really work on recruiting. It kind of just like comes now.
That's awesome.
a game changer.
Yes. So
for simple
that
email.
Melanie Mitchell video is on YouTube. And then if you go to my Google Drive, my new coach letter is almost, it's not verbatim, but it's pretty close to Melanie's script that she uses. And it's a video of me. So I guess if you are someone that is pushing to diamond and you have some big goals for this business, you should be doing your own video. So you're see you, sign up with you. It can be the same script for all of us.
Yeah, and it's me in my video for sure.
Right.
And I guess I could say, I decided, like I said, when I decide to do something, I just do it. And I decided that I was going to be diamond in August. I was getting married in August. And I didn't have any working coaches. And so my husband was already emerald. And so I just made my mom diamond. I had way enough discount coaches. So it's whatever. I'm just sick of being emerald. Like Jen said, I'm a natural leader. I was sick of my rank not reflecting that. And so there's another, Lindsay Matway did a video that some of these just stick with me. And she said she hit diamond on purpose, to feel like a diamond, and when she's talking to people, she's that confidence would just shine through differently. So I had diamond on purpose, and that's literally when I got those 3 coaches immediately. After that. So I don't know if it's just an internal thing with some people. I don't know.
No, and then if you guys want to scroll back to November of 2013, National Wake Up Call, Lindsay Matway did a National Wake Up Call. This was really right when I started. It might be in December, but it was on how to treat this business like $1 million business, even if you're only making $5 a week. Just to act like it is. And
Yeah.
if you posture that, Christine Dwyer's big on this too. Like, how do you posture? How do you posture your confidence for those coaches? How do you posture success for yourself? How do you posture what you want your business to be? Why are coaches coming to you? It's because of how you're posturing. And that's the biggest part of it. So I agree that confidence goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome, Rachel. Well, can't wait to see you guys all at Leadership. We're going to have a big group.
Yeah, woohoo.
All righty. So, Kathy, you're up. I'm excited to hear what Kathy has to say.
Me too. No, I'm kidding. No, I mean, I think I've been a coach for 2 years in April. And I joined very soon after Sarah. We had met in a MOPS group, and unlike a lot of you who have full-time jobs in the professional world, I've actually been a stay-at-home mom for almost 12 years now. Our oldest child is 12. So before my husband and I got married, he's an accountant, and we had discussed that I would be even though I have a master's degree and I, had a wonderful job that I loved before we got engaged, before we got married, the plan was for me to be a stay-at-home mom. And so when I got pregnant with our first, that whole last year, we banked my salary and we bought our first small 2-bedroom Georgian home based only on his salary, even though I was working at the time. And we've just kind of grown into our life. So like the home we live in now is our dream home, but we only moved here 4 years ago. And so there was never, we started small so we could survive on his salary because it was a choice for me to be home, and we were able to make it work. And so I've always, I guess, had the luxury of being a stay-at-home mom and kind of getting to have hobbies and outside interests that I pursued. And one of those was early on, I became a group fitness instructor because when my son, who's now 12, was 15 months old, I found out about a fitness center in the neighborhood that had free babysitting. So I brought him there every morning for an hour, and I would work out and he would get socialization with the other kids. And within a year of that, I became a certified group fitness instructor, and that's just been kind of an outlet ever since. And I've also gotten into writing and blogging. And so when Sarah started posting, my youngest was getting close to kindergarten. I think she was in preschool, and there was not pressure for me to go back into the working world, but I was itching to have something beyond, stay-at-home mom. And so I feel like Beachbody just came at a really good time in my life when I was kind of ready to make that transition. And it wasn't so much that we needed the money, but I think I needed, validation or just, to have something outside of being a mom. And because I had actually had a blog for about 6 or 7 years before this and have been outgoing and I'm a big networker and already kind of shared my life on social media, I started really strong. Like when I bought the program, I became a coach really quickly and didn't have trouble getting clients and didn't even really know what Success Club was and was hitting it. And so that was great for me personally, but I also was able to get some coaches quickly, and I kind of didn't know what to do with them because I adored them, but they didn't have the same experience when they started. And so I didn't know what to do with that. And so that's one of my biggest regrets is that I kind of didn't know what to do with them. And I tried, and I'd be like, try this, try that. And it wasn't working. And so I'm finally coming back to, because I didn't necessarily in the beginning kind of need to do some of the things that some people do to be successful, if that makes sense. I really struggled to teach it to my team because it was just kind of happening for me.
Yeah.
And so that's something I've had to backpedal because by last summer, I had a lot of coaches on my team and I was like, I'm going to be 5-star elite by the end of the year and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. But I got overwhelmed and it didn't happen. I've been diamond since October. I went diamond in 6 months and then I stayed there. I've never lost rank, but I love my coaches. I love on my coaches. I try to mentor them, but I have yet to find, I definitely have the gold coins, but I don't have anyone on my team that is so motivated, and so I'm trying. I realize one of my big takeaways is you always have to be recruiting because for a long time I had 5 or 6 coaches that were sort of working and I was determined to get them to diamond as opposed to trying to add new people to the team. So I remember being on a call, I think Wendy, at some point we were on a call with Doug Moss that you got us on, and He's one of the corporate guys for those who don't know him. And he said that when you are a diamond, 80% of your time should be spent on recruiting, which I was like, whoa, because I was so not spending 80% of my time on recruiting. And so I think it's not something you never kind of settle. It's the consistency, like everybody else has said. And for the past few months, I've just really been getting back to the basics because I love what I do. I love this, but I was not. It was a hard end of the year for me because in the summer I wholeheartedly believed that I was going to end the year 5-star elite, and I ended it diamond. And it is what it is, and I'm still working hard and I'm still trying, but it's, I don't know if that's helpful.
It's hard. No, and I think, and that's something I was going to talk about too. And Rachel even kind of mentioned it. It's hard when sometimes your big goals really rely on other people. Mm-hmm. And that's such a learning lesson to really take yourself out of it, right? And to be like, it doesn't matter what I want. What I want really doesn't mean anything. It's how can I help my team, help these people, that I love, that I see this potential, and how can I help them do this themselves? Mm-hmm. And it's a really hard skill to work on, but that's really what you do need to become really great at, to become a great coach, right? Mm-hmm. So you eat a lot of I don't know, what's the right word? Your ego has to be basically at zero many times. And we were just talking about this on a call this morning, but that lather, rinse, repeat, it's such a blessing and a curse of this business, because everything you do has to be duplicable, and it has to be you have to have that stamina to really work hard at it, let it go, and then repeat it all over again, and then teach your coaches and their coaches and their coaches. Once you've done it with 3 levels below you, then you've gotten to that point where you've got some gold chips. But, in general, if you can't do that and have the stamina to do that and to let go of your goals and really just focus on others, it's hard. That's been hard. I understand that totally. So I get it. And I think just not giving up, this is part of your story, right? I was stuck at diamond and it felt really terrible, and I vowed I wasn't going to do it anymore. So I love that, Kathy. And I think it's part of why you are going to be a 5-star elite, elite coach for sure. It's just we all have our own pace.
Thank you. And I will say that I do believe it's possible. I'm not giving up. The whole, I'll be here next year. My coach, Erin, who's been in this business almost as long as I have and has yet to hit diamond, and she's tried so hard, and she's going to get there soon. But we were talking today about how you motivate yourself to be here next year, and just even using the Punta Cana trip, get your coaches signed up next Tuesday, because if they commit to go on this trip, they're committing to hit Success Club 10 every month. They're committed, and it's a motivation to earn this awesome trip, and just, things like that. So
for sure. I love that. Awesome. Well, thank you, Kathy. Always adds so much wisdom, I think, just because you look at it sometimes a different way. So thank you. Okay. I think she's our newest diamond. Maybe not, but Kelly Webster's up next. So Kelly, what do you have for us?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, I'm Kelly. I started coaching in November, and then I hit diamond the last day of December, so the last day of 2015. Since I'm so new, I haven't really had a huge setback, but I did the same thing that Erin did. I put all of my coaches on the inside, and that wasn't very fun. I don't know how it happened. I watched the video 10 times, but I guess just getting caught up in all of the training, I must have missed something. So that's something I learned. I think I ask Wendy probably 5 or 6 questions a day or more. I just always am asking questions, which I don't think it bugs you, but
no, not at all. I prefer that.
So for new coaches or any coach, just don't be afraid to ask questions, because you don't want to do something wrong, or, everybody's there to help you. So,
and to add to that, and this is not, I'm going to use another example so that it doesn't apply to all of us, but let's say you feel like you and your upline started at the same time, or, you know what I mean? Maybe you outrank your upline, or whatever the case may be. keep going up. Like if you're not getting answers and you're not feeling like it's helping, there's no problem with, hey, saying like to your upline, like, hey, I'm going to ask your upline. I'm going to ask her upline. Like Sarah Lenore has gone all the way up to Janelle Summers asking questions because she wasn't getting the answer she needed. And I think that's part of her success. She's not scared to keep asking until she gets the information she needs that she knows that will help her and her team move forward. So that's huge, Kelly. I mean, I think whether you start or whether, you know, it doesn't have to just be your upline. Talk to anyone. If there's another coach on Facebook or Instagram or wherever you see her in some random training, reach out to her. Like at the beginning of the year last year after Super Saturday, I reached out to many of the top 10 coaches, like, tell me specifically, I had like, you know, some very specific questions for them. Tell me how you did and why you did this specific thing to hit top 10. And
Yeah, I've done that too.
Except for Melanie Mitchell, but that's okay. She's kind of
I've
busy.
reached out to probably half of the coaches on here. I know I've talked to Rachel and Sarah and Amy. Just if I like something they're doing or if I see a post, I'll ask them, or if whatever it is that I notice that they're doing, I ask them, and then I steal their ideas. They're make it my own.
Stealing. Lather, rinse, repeat. You just kind of change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
That's cool. So what's your goal for Two Star?
I think I'm still kind of learning what everything is, but 2-star means that I have 2 diamonds.
You have
right?
a diamond on each leg, correct?
Okay. End of March.
Okay, so first quarter. That's awesome. It's a big push. And we're doing that, you know, push to 2-star group soon. It's actually going to be starting this week. I just found out. So I'll let you guys know. Some of the other elite coaches are like, well, we got to start now so they can qualify. And I'm like, okay, I'll tell them. So anyway, thanks so much, Kelly. Yeah, because you went to Diamond in less than 60 days. So that's always super exciting and awesome. So, you know, just kind of keep your eye out to see what she's doing, you guys. Okay, when the push to Diamond is February 1st. Yes, I was talking, the other group that I just mentioned is basically a push to Star Diamond. So you can qualify by the end of, quarter 1. Okay, so we can talk more about that off here, but on to Tamsin. She's a West Coaster, so I always love seeing her face because this is like in the middle of dinner, bedtime, bath time. And so thank you for getting on. I know these aren't easy for you. Welcome.
If you start hearing like this massive chaos, screaming children in the background, that's what's going on right now. My husband's trying to keep them under control at this point in time. So I started in May of 2014, and then I became Emerald pretty quickly, but I didn't really know what to do with everything. And then like a month later, I had my son, and I kind of dropped off. And so it took me until I think it was either April or May of the following year of last year that I became Diamond. And I did lose rank once last summer for just 1 week, and came back with it. And, you know, things are still, you know, touch and go from time to time. Last year was a learning experience in, I guess, kind of similar to some of the other gals. It's, you know, I thought I was going to end the year a 2-star Diamond. I had, you know, 2 strong, you know, coaches that had, you know, Diamond goals, and you know, I kind of thought, oh wow, I'm really lucky, you know, this is going to happen for me. And it didn't, you know, it didn't at all. In fact, I was really nervous at the end of last year, you know, that I wasn't even going to be Diamond. Like I was, you know, doing everything that I could to make sure that I kept my Diamond rank at the end of the year. So, you know, it's for me, everything is just a continuous, hold on, sweet pea, okay? A continuous learning process, and learning to balance. I think that's where, you know, I don't really have necessarily a golden nugget there, because I'm still trying to figure it out. Just a moment, sweetheart.
I have a new
I'm sorry. Hold on just a moment, please. One thing that I guess recommend is really having open communication with your significant other, your husband or whatever, because while this business can be very simple and what our tasks that we need to do are very basic, it can still take up a lot of your time, and it's really easy to get sucked in and really want to, I guess, it's hard to kind of pull out sometimes. For me, it's, I have to really be careful with how much I'm on the computer, how much I'm on my phone. And, it's they're not always productive things. Like I will totally get sucked into, the notifications or things, or answering my coach questions or answering customer, and I'm still working on developing that hard set, this is my schedule and I need to stick to it, and not feel that pressure of if I have messages sitting in my inbox, that I need to reply to them right away, because that's how I felt, for so long, that, it was like, oh my gosh, I've got a message in there. I have to answer this customer, or I'm not going to be able to, do this, or, it was just, I'm learning, to really make sure that I'm setting aside that time where it's not, a constant interruption, with my family. So, I think that's, I guess my biggest thing. It's kind of an ongoing process for me to keep learning. But if you're new and, I think that making sure that, if you want to run with this, you have your spouse on board, or at least that they're aware of, what it could take, is really important. Let's see. For me, in terms of like awesomeness or positive stuff, because I feel like everything, I have so many nuggets of don't do this, because I've learned the hard way in a lot of aspects. But I don't know what my path is going to be, but I know what the end game is. And I just know that I'm going to do it. I just know and it's not, it might take me longer. It might be crazy and full of, lots of ups and downs, because that's what it has been. But I'm just so 100% positive that it will happen for me. And it just takes me to continue, getting through these bumps in the road and working through it and continuing to believe in myself. So I guess, there's, you never really understand what your path is going to be. Just if you really believe in yourself, it will eventually happen. And I just don't know how that will be. It just does. So,
no, I understand.
Go ahead.
No, so it's I'm finishing up another Tony Robbins program, and that's actually a big thing. That's the focus on it. Like, you can be a to-do list kind of person, but if each one of those to-dos don't have like a purpose that juices you, that's the word he likes to use, then you're not going to do it with the same amount of passion or belief that you would if it had like a meaning behind it. Like, so what would be the meaning of responding to a coach right away? While there might have a good purpose, you have to look at the bigger picture of what you're doing. And it's a hard lesson to learn when you want to micromanage everything. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, but that's truly what it is. You have to learn how to stick to that schedule, how to delegate, and be so hardcore with your time that nothing is going to push you off of that. So that's big. And I think it's a good lesson, both good and bad. Like, as long as you have that belief, it's going to happen. And then it's just figuring out the processes along the way that your life can fit into it. Yes. So those are good ones. Yes. Oh, Tamsin and I are sisters from another universe, I think. So, yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And you said gal too, which makes me crack up. I can't help it. So yeah, if anyone else picks up on that from now on, There you go. Okay, well, thank you, girl. And you can get back to your family. I'm going to try to, I don't know, maybe do one. We'll always do our team calls at night, but as far as like coaching opportunity calls, I think we'll do one during the day, during like once a month, and then one at night once a month, so that maybe we can connect on a different way with all of us. Okay, so I think my last diamond on here is Monica. So Monica, do you want to tell us about something that's been, 'cause I know you weren't on in the beginning, but so basically like 2 lessons that you learned. One lesson that was fun, that you learned a lot from, that you love to share and talk about, and another one that was not fun, that is, if you had to choose, you would not go through it again. So what would those 2 be?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to wake up my babies.
Monica's a new mom of her 3rd. So
Yes. And the house is really small and they wake up really easily. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to talk tonight, but let me see. 2 lessons. I guess time management is really big for me, especially with kids. A lesson for me, I wish I would have like jumped right in head first when I first started. And I think I kind of like took my time a little bit. I was really enjoying it and connecting with people. And I wish I would have been more focused, because now having my 3rd little baby in the house, it's time management is so much more difficult. So balance has always been big for me, and now it's even more of a challenge. So you know, you never know what you're going to encounter, and you don't know what the next step is going to be. So I try not to regret that I didn't put more effort in the beginning, and just do my best now.
Right. Focus on right now.
Yeah. I guess another lesson.
A good one. What's a good one?
I don't know. I would have liked to think about this a little bit more.
You're a little sleep deprived. It's okay. If you aren't feeling it, that's fine. But I know, like,
Yeah.
I mean, you're also a yoga teacher. Like, I feel like there's so many things that you connect with your clients and your coaches on a different level. Like, for example, Kelly is Monica's coach. She went diamond in less than 60 days. How do you think you recruited Kelly? How about that? That had to be a big plus. To have someone go diamond in less than 60 days is huge.
Yeah, I mean, that was great. I know Kelly actually from the Y. I think just from posting, that's one of my strong points, is I post a lot. I like sharing my journey with people. Nutrition is a big part of my background, and so I love sharing good recipes and stuff. And I think that connects with people. I mean, people want to be healthy, and I think it's hard for a lot of people. So when they see that, I think it makes them think, oh, it's attainable. You know, I can eat healthy too. So I think I connect to people like that, especially moms that want to cook better for the families and stuff. So, and, you know, just Kelly knows at the Y, you meet so many different people and you bond with moms and you talk at playtime. And so, you know, just talking about the Shakeology and how it made me feel after I started drinking Shakeology when I was in my first trimester. And literally, I remember my husband looking at me saying, what did you do with my wife? Like, I wanted pizza, I wanted fast food, and like, I don't eat that stuff. And that's all I wanted. And I didn't want to get off the couch. I was like so tired. And my first 2 pregnancies were not like that. Like, I was go, go, go all the time. So, and then I actually had a bag of Shakeology that I tried before. And I was like, well, you know, maybe I'll make a shake. And I made it and I drank them for a week. And I was like, oh my God, I feel better than I felt like this whole month. And so I started talking to people, and I don't know, it was just invigorating. It felt really great. And then I did the 21-day fix, and I lost an inch around each of my thighs. And so, you know, it's just, it felt really good, and it felt good to talk to people about it. And so I think, you know, I'm a personable person. So I think that's how I get people to join, you know.
Just by being you and sharing. Yeah. And I think, like, especially like you said, like, you feel like you might be struggling a little bit, just, the balance and everything else, just going
Right.
back to doing that, going back to, how you felt when you started. And you can even do posts about that. That helps people just reconnect with you through all those different phases. And I think that's a big one. So you're awesome. It gives them sleep, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
so
Thank you.
it's after 10, obviously. So I'll do mine for good, unless there's any other diamonds on here that I've missed. Basically, it's been a big year for me. There's been a lot of change, and a lot of times I could have just crumpled and quit, or just given up. And so much of it, so the blessing, I guess, that I was so thankful to go through was to have this community and this tribe, because how else can you be any happier, more supported with, in general, women, obviously, who are positive, who love lifting people up, who love looking for the best in people, who want to see you succeed. Like, what other jobs do you have something like that, where there's no reason to go sit in a hole and feel sorry for yourself when you're surrounded by this much positivity and warmth and people who actually care about you? Some people are like, oh, your virtual friends. I'm like, you don't understand. My virtual friends are actually a lot better friends than some of my real friends in person. So I don't say that to be weird. I say that just to say thank you, because I know, I think a lot of this, Beachbody, not to get too personal, but Beachbody doesn't split up marriages. There are struggles in marriages before Beachbody even comes along, and this just kind of escalates certain things sometimes, especially if all of a sudden you're a stay-at-home mom and you find something that you really love, that you're good at, and that doesn't always do well with spouses. So just Beachbody came into my life when I was living in the mountains of Wyoming, population 75, and I was alone. I was literally alone for 100 hours a week with 2 little babies. And I started my coaching when I was 6 weeks pregnant. I didn't even know I was pregnant when I signed up, though, honestly. And I told Megan, my upline, no more than once. Like, no, I have no interest. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm happy. Thanks, but no thanks. And then I started T25 and I got results and loved it. And here the story goes. My first year, I basically forced, my husband to go to Summit because I had gotten this free ticket. It was like this giant blow up. But I said, we have to go. Like, we have to go, because it was Vegas and it was close and we hadn't taken a single vacation since we moved to Wyoming. And so we went, and that was where like the light bulb clicked for me. Because I think I was maybe Emerald. Yeah, I think I was Emerald. But before, I didn't even really know what Diamond was. And I got there, I'm like, I'm going to be on stage next year. I'm going to do this. Like, my team already, we can do this. And it's just that belief. Like you say, you write it down, and Summit woke me up. And so I was Diamond by the end of the year, and a new Diamond. So I was like, Sarah actually became a Diamond, but then I didn't become 1-star until last year, until 2015. So in 2015, I went from 1-star qualifying, so I wasn't even a 1-star yet, to 6-star, and my second CB is 1-star qual. And I had 11 diamonds go last year in 1 year. So that was a crazy year. And I guess my struggle, what I went through is, like Kathy and a few others said, you can't push. And I just listened to this again on the napkin presentation, the 45-second napkin presentation book. You really have to go into it. If you think you're going to go up to your potential coaches and be like, I'm going to push you, I'm going to do this, like, rah, rah, we're so excited, we're pushing. That's not the way to have any success or to really encourage your coaches. Some people might want it, but you have to go into it with the mentality of, I'm helping you. Yes, I have these goals, but I have to take myself out of it because we might not hit it. But guess what? I'm here to help you whether we hit this goal or not, and to change that mentality. I have also learned that I have a lot of great ideas and we do this, do that. That is not the way to grow your team in an easy way. You need to really find ways that are duplicable, that your coaches can teach their coaches. And great ideas, they're a dime a dozen. If you can't implement them and have your coaches and their coaches implement them, it's not going to help anyone. So take a step back, really just focus on what is that lather, rinse, repeat, the simple steps. And then you can do some special stuff along the way. But, I think loving on your coaches, the recognition, finding what kind of is the love language of each one of those people in your life. That's the way it has to be. So yeah, it was a hard year in the sense of like even some people that, you know, I trusted and depended on in this business. You know, I learned some major lessons, and you just have to do you, right? Like if you show your weaknesses, you show your struggles, that makes you that much more real and endearing to all of the people that you're helping. If you just show you're perfect all the time, you're going to lose a lot of clients and customers. So nothing groundbreaking, but that was really my epiphanies of the year. And just having a team rally for me, holy crap, like we were not at 5-star. We hit 5-star before Summit, and that was awesome. And then all of a sudden we weren't going to hit Elite. And guess what? Like if you don't give up on it and your coaches are awesome, like Rob is, it just happens. Like people rallied and wanted it so bad, not just for me, but for our whole team, for themselves. And it was the best feeling. And that will happen. It'll happen to you guys too. So that's all I can say, I guess. long call, but thank you for staying on. And do we have any questions? I know it's late and you're still on, and I know a lot of you are 9 o'clockers for bedtime. So if you need to go, I understand. Anything? Alrighty. Well, I love you guys. Thank you so much for getting on this call. This is always big to see your faces. And here's to a great rest of January. Push yourselves, help your coaches. And yeah, have a good week till I see you again. Okay. We have a What is Coaching call also tomorrow at 9. It won't be this long, but it'll be live. So if you have anyone that you've even considered being a 10, ask them. Get over your fear and just ask them. All right. I'll talk to you girls soon.